They say lightning never strikes the same place twice. But in Surrey, those old rules simply don't apply anymore. Behind me is the Kaps Cafe, owned by famous Indian comedian Kapil Sharma. It should be a place of community, a place for families to gather and to enjoy a nice cup of tea. Instead, it's a place of fear. Behind me, you can see there's a security hut, as well as a surveillance unit, and even a police officer parked right outside. This business has been hit 3 times. Once on July 10th, again on August 7th, and then a 3rd time on October 16th. In just one night, they fired 25 rounds into this cafe. That's 25 bullets just to send a message. For a while, people thought that this was just a business crisis. If you didn't own a jewelry store, a bakery, a cafe, then you were fine. At least that was the case until school started. For months, gunmen have repeatedly targeted this neighborhood, fired shots into houses, broken glass, terrorized families. The message was clear. We know where you work, we know where you live, and we're coming for you. This is more than just extortion and racketeering. Frankly, it's domestic terrorism. And if you think that these extortionists are slowing down, they're not. Just this Thursday, December 11th, we had another auto body shop get attacked in Surrey. That's one more business owner that had to wake up to broken glass and police tape. We have a foreign government accused of pulling the strings. We have an immigration loophole blown wide open. And most importantly, we have a community under siege. My name is Mogam Singh Malik, and tonight we are asking the questions they don't want answers to. Welcome to More Than a Suburb. It's now Sunday afternoon, and hundreds of people have skipped their afternoon shopping as well as their Sunday football to pile into a ballroom here at the Civic Hotel. Let's find out why. I'm here at an emergency town hall being hosted by the World Sikh Organization, who say that the extortions in Surrey have reached a breaking point.
We have confirmed that the agents of government of India are linked to intimidation, threats, coercion, and organized criminal activity targeting Sikh communities. These activities include surveillance, harassment of activists.
If I'm someone who doesn't know anything about transnational repression and extortions, and I'm not someone from the South Asian community, why should I care about this as an issue?
So you should care because well over a year ago, the RCMP revealed that homicides, extortion, and acts of violence were against Canadians were linked to the government of India. These indiscriminate acts of violence have been occurring against individuals and have escalated on individuals from Abbotsford to Montreal. Business owners, community leaders, musicians, artists, and radio hosts have experienced intimidation and harassment, which has caused widespread fear. The key piece here is why we should care is Canadians across the country with respect to extortion and transnational repression who care about our national sovereignty and national security should be alarmed. Foreign state actors should not be allowed to operate on Canadian soil with impunity.
The World Sikh Organization is using these town halls to make a startling claim. They say that this extortion crisis is not just a result of Indian gangs, but is actually being directed by the Indian government. And they seem to have this receipts from CSIS to back it up.
When the Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister of this country appears before a parliamentary committee and says that it's Amit Shah that's directing this gang, that is giving the orders to actually enact this violence in Canada, what concrete steps is the government actually taking to ensure the public accountability of those officials? So what concrete steps are being taken to hold Amit Shah, Samant Goyal, who is the chief of RAW, Dinkar Gupta, who is the head of NIA, Vikash Yadav, who was the RAW agent who orchestrated some of the assassinations, and the other officials that are involved in this entire wave of violence? What concrete steps are being taken?
I can say from the last government that I was part of to this government that we're part of. We have highlighted transnational aggression in the most extreme light. As to the G7, Prime Minister Carney's, because it's Canada's presidency of the G7, he has the ability to set the agenda for the G7, and the first item on the agenda of the G7 for the 7 countries was to end transnational aggression and using all the tools, including cybercrime, others, etc., to combat that.
So that leads us to ask an important question. If the community thinks it's the government of India, and the intelligence agencies think that it's the government of India, then why won't our police and politicians acknowledge this crisis? Hi, my name is Mokam Singh, and my question is for Chief Lipinski. Now, we've had over 100 cases, I think over 40 shootings. There was just one this morning that has been linked to extortion. And so my question is for you. Obviously, the police budget didn't plan for this at the start of the year. So can you give the community a concrete answer on how much money has the Surrey Police Force put forward, considering this is such a pressing issue, and how many officers have been allocated? If you can give us a concrete action on what steps are being taken, because the answer is often just, it's a top priority and steps are being taken, but we never know what those steps are. So can you give us a concrete answer?
Sure. We have 15 Surrey police members with the task force. I have anywhere from 15 to 25 in Surrey Police Service that are working either full-time or part-time on this. There is 500,000 coming from the provincial government, 500,000 from the federal government pertaining to victim services. Let me say this, if I need resources, I'll be asking for them, and if I don't get the resources, I will be telling you.
The police chief just answered a question that I've been asking at the Public Safety Committee for months. He finally confirmed that the province has only given the city $500,000 to combat this once-in-a-generation public safety crisis, and that they've only committed 15 police officers to address our extortion problems here in Surrey. Now, let's look at the context that matters here. In 2024, there were only 28 shootings in the city of Surrey. I know, a very small number. As of today, there was a shooting. In fact, today, there have been 45 extortion-related shootings and over 100 cases. So we had 500 officers to deal with 28 shootings last year, and just the 45 on the extortion file, we only have 15 officers. But when we consider the sheer scale of the Surrey Police Service, those numbers are tiny. That $500,000 is a fraction of a percent, 0.1%, when compared to the $330 million of the Surrey Police Force budget. And those 15 officers, that's 2% of the nearly 600 officers currently deployed in the city of Surrey. I have a question for the chair, and it's based off of what I've been hearing from community members, which is that they don't feel that they've been communicated to enough. And so my question basically boils down to this. We had a lower year with less shootings last year. The public felt safe and felt like the Surrey Police was doing an excellent job. Now, obviously, we're facing this extortion crisis, and we talked, I think the chief just talked about how there may be a surge of policing that the federal government grants, and there are some resources that the board needs. And so there are 9 board members, and so the question that continually is incumbent upon me, that is asked to me, that I'm now willing to put forward, is why aren't you guys out in front of the media more? There are 9 board members, you guys all speak various languages. Why aren't you out more speaking to people, in particular speaking to media and saying, this is what we need from the federal government, this is what we need from the provincial government, this is what we need from the municipal government? Because what I see on the news every day is shooting, 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 shooting. Not board members saying, this is what we're doing, here's the money that's allocated, and here's the stuff that's going. So we just walked out of that police board meeting where they didn't let us film, unfortunately, but that's okay, because we got our point across. I ended up submitting a number of policy requests to the board, and we'll be talking to the board about that in February. But what the board seemingly doesn't understand is that this crisis is happening right now, whether they want it to be happening or not. And so one of the things that we're going to be doing later is we're going to be going to Newton in between midnight and 3 a.m. when they actually have those shootings to go and see where are the police, because it's very clear, at least from the community's perspective, that real action is not being taken. And the officers that they say are allocated, in fact, are nowhere to be seen. It's almost 2 a.m. and I'm here in Newton. Now, if you read the press releases, this neighborhood is supposed to be under heavy surveillance. The mayor has asked for 150 new police officers, but the province says that the task force is everywhere. But let's look around. Do we see any cop cars? Do we see any patrol vehicles? The answer is simply no. I'm on 76th Avenue now. This radio station behind me was shot up in October. That restaurant in the same complex was shot up just a week later. The police say that they're protecting businesses and business owners like these, but the business owners tell me that that simply isn't true, that the police aren't doing enough. Now, when we were at the police board meeting earlier in the week, the police board and the chief told us that they simply did not have the resources for static security, that they were working with business owners and that they were working with residents to create safety plans to help them feel safe. But that's not what business owners and residents were telling me. They were telling me that all they heard from police was, you gotta do what you gotta do. One resident even said to me that they went ahead and purchased a safety vest like this to feel safe in their own home. We've been driving around Newton for hours, visiting businesses that have been subjected to these extortion-related shootings and threats, and we have yet to see a single police cruiser. The fact of the matter is, this isn't a safety issue anymore, it's a livability issue. Residents don't feel safe in their homes, they don't feel safe out on the street, and they don't feel safe in their businesses. Now, when the politicians say that they're doing everything that they can, I want you to remember this moment and this street, and the fact that there are no cops in sight. It seems to me that our police force is working a 9 to 5, and the extortionists are on the night shift. Tonight, we've seen the neighborhoods of the victims, we've seen their businesses, and we've heard their stories. And we know the cavalry isn't coming. We've looked at the hard truths. The police cars are parked, the politicians are still arguing about their budget, and no action is being taken. So it's time we ask the hard question. How much longer are we going to wait before we finally take matters into our own hands? Because we deserve to feel safe in this city.